All right, we are green to wrap up this amazing, insanely packed Thursday. Guys, I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix both of those things together. Guys, did you catch what happened today? You may have around the whole conversation from Mexico getting backhanded across the face and the gun controllers, the 9-0 decision. You know that one? Yeah, there was some language in there which was pretty damning to gun control going forward, particularly AR bans. But I want to draw your attention to something else because that's not the first time that we've seen it. Now, everything that I'm about to show you is linked in the description box below. I bring the receipts to every single video I do so you guys are informed as well as verified all the things that I tell you. Now, make sure, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I am ready to get this day going because, guys, woo, what a day. And this video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to open it up to Q&A as we're going through this. So if you have any kind of questions, put it in the chat and I will try to address them because a lot happened today. But before we dive in, make sure you guys check out the description box where we are selling the limited time design shirts. It's supposed to end Friday. Black, navy, we're coming for our rights. If it hasn't been proven evident enough to you, we're pissed. Uncle Sam, pissed. Pointing at the wearer so you can wear what you believe because we are coming for the freaking rights that they have taken from us. Link in the description right down there if you want to get yourself one, male and female shirts. And with that said, let's dive into the content because I want to show you something over on my X account at Braden LOA. Make sure you guys follow me there. We're grinding towards 20,000. You guys are fully aware of what happened today in the SCOTUS with Mexico and the lawsuit against, gun manufacturers. Smith & Wesson versus Mexico. Yet Mexico got its butt handed to it. Got it kicked out of court because the PLCAA, which is the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, prevented them from doing what they were trying to do. The guy who used to work for Brady, the gun control group, who quit and then went down to Mexico and partnered with the Mexican government to sue the gun manufacturers here from outside the United States so that way they circumvent the PLCAA. Yeah, that whole move, yeah, they got backhanded. But not only did they get backhanded, which we covered, I want to show you some language that a few people pointed out in Kagan's opinion, okay? This is a liberal justice, and this is not the first time that you've heard this in the past 6 months to 6 to 12 months around this type of language. Again, I always bring receipts. It's linked. Check this out. And then we're going to do some open Q&A stuff. The Supreme Court just breathed new life into the AWB litigation. That's the assault weapon ban litigation. From the pen of Justice Kagan, we now have official, binding, dispositive precedent from the Supreme Court stating that AR-15s, AKs, and 50 cals are commonly owned. And I'm going to read it for you right here because this was actually in the decision. The opinion. As noted above, Mexico here focuses on the manufacturer's production of military-style assault weapons, among which it includes AR-15s, rifles, AK-47 rifles, and 50 caliber sniper rifles. But those products are both widely legal and bought by many ordinary consumers. The AR-15 is the most popular rifle in the country. What? Thanks, Kagan. By the way, this is the backfire portion of this. This wouldn't have been possible if the gun controllers hadn't tried to circumvent the laws of our nation, because now we have that statement from Mexico versus Smith & Wesson, which is going to come up in the next conversation. You remember how Kavanaugh said he wanted to percolate more for assault weapons bans and expect it next term? That's now going to be in there. Just saying. All right, so that's not the only thing, though, because that is important. In fact, Gun Owners of America picked it up, too. Said the same thing about the same thing. This is what they said. Buried in the ruling is what may be the most consequential Second Amendment dicta from the court in years. Justice Kagan noted that Mexico specifically targeted military-style assault weapons such as AR-15s and AK-47s and 50 caliber rifles, but emphasized that those products are both widely legal and bought by many ordinary consumers. And the next sentence, the AR-15 is the most popular rifle in the country. Okay, guys, this is incredibly important. And the same thing happened right here. But these products are both widely legal and bought by many ordinary consumers. The AR-15 is the most popular rifle in the country. Right here. It's right there. This is in her opinion. However, there's something that I would like to draw attention to, because this is why I do what I do. I really try to dive in deep and bring you guys the history here. So this is from the Cargill decision. Okay? Now, a lot of you are already going to be typing in the comments over here that you already know what I'm going to say. But if you aren't, this is from the Cargill decision where the liberal justices were dissenting, saying that bump stocks make things into machine guns. So this is from Justice Sotomayor, June 14th, 2024. So this is actually under a year ago. Okay? Keep in mind what I just showed you with AR-15s. Now let me zoom in here for you. Oh man, this is about the bump stocks. He did so by affixing bump stocks to commonly available semi-automatic rifles. Commonly available. Let me highlight that for you guys. He did so by affixing the bump stock to commonly available semi-automatic rifles. And if I zoom out a little bit more, you can see this is the dissenting opinion in the Cargill case. That was Justice Sotomayor right here. And Justice Kagan dissented along with them. Okay? Commonly used semi-automatic firearms. Most popular rifle in the country. Both widely legal and bought by many ordinary consumers. We even did videos where AOC was quoting this. Guys, in the last 12 months, the far left progressive justices in the SCOTUS have given us 2 cases of which they've said AR-15s are the most common available rifle in the United States, and they are leaning towards common use by many ordinary consumers. That is 2 different dissenting opinions. Well, one was a dissenting opinion, one was just the decision in a 9-0 backhand against Mexico and the gun controllers. Guys, that's not insignificant. And if you're just now getting in here, I'm going to leave the chats open for a second so we can kind of go back and forth because lots has happened today. But leave your comments now. But you're talking about 2 different cases within 12 months where the liberal justices have all said common use. I mean, that is significant. And when Kavanaugh comes around and he gets enough percolation, as he called it, in a term or two, when many other assault weapon ban cases are coming up, you're going to see this exact same language brought up. This is going to be part of the case when they're reading all of these things. And it's going to be really uncomfortable when they start reading the liberal opinions and liberal dissents from, Kagan and Sotomayor when you're talking about common use. Because the entire argument for AR-15s is they are bearable arms because everyone freaking has them. I'm just telling you, this is where it's going. The timing may be off with us, but a lot of the time we're going in the right direction, and this is very important. All right, so let me get over here into, actually, that's a really good point. So someone says right here, we need to start the push, we need to push for HPA and Short Act, call your senator. So I'll say something about that. If you guys are just now tuning in, put some comments in the chat, and I'll do an open Q&A kind of thing until you guys don't have any more. So the Hearing Protection Act, if you are not familiar with what's going on, we are pushing, you're calling all of your own senators. You got 2 of them, make it ring, baby. And if you're in a blue state, then you're going to have to engage on X, because even if you feel like it's not going to work, you can still magnify your voice through X incredibly well. Tag me at BradenLOA. Now, when you get in touch with them, or when you're bringing other people along on X, you want to preserve Section 2 in the Hearing Protection Act. You want to add Section 3, which is the state insulation of suppressors, so they don't get caught up in a big mismatch when all the rules change, assuming that Section 2 continues on as it is. And then the third thing is you add the Short Act. So those are the steps. That's it. Section 2 preserves the HPA. Section 3, add it to the HPA. Short Act, add it. Call your senators, and both of them, and then engage in X. Because what we did in the House, we can do again. I can tell you right now, we are on the right road, but you got to make sure that subscription is turned on, your notification bell turned on. I will let you know if anything changes. If my phone starts ringing, you guys will know about it immediately. But we will keep you updated as we go forward. But that's a really good one. Thanks, Braden, for your hard work. Chris, thank you. It is my pleasure. We are at a generational advantage right now. It is crazy how the opportunity that we have in this moment is off the charts. Let's see here. I'm just going to go through the chats. Call the Senate committee, and they said the phones were blowing up. Yeah, keep on calling. Keep on calling. Now, one thing you guys seem to be interested in this, which is really awesome. Yeah, absolutely, Todd. I will do that. Repeat that. Okay, so just keep any kind of open question, leave it in the chat, guys. So the sections to repeat, we are going to have to go with the Hearing Protection Act, preserve the Hearing Protection Act in Section 2. That is the removal of suppressors from the NFA. Okay. Section 3, we need that added to the Hearing Protection Act. That is the insulation of the charges that could be caught up in the wind of regulations changing and suppressors removing from the NFA. So that's at a state level. So you need Section 2 preserved and you need Section 3 added. The Short Act is completely separate, add it. That's easy. We want the Short Act too, but make sure you have Section 3 in the Hearing Protection Act. Now, where this goes from here, we've got to get to 2 different committees because there's 2 in the Senate. Right now, do not worry about all of the hubbub that's going on between Elon Musk and Donald Trump's cage fight right now. That's not the important part. We're going to be laser focused on what we're dealing with because we're going to jailbreak suppressors. If we keep this going, this path, we're going to do it. And it's going to be incredible. I'm not Nostradamus, but we're going to keep grinding until it isn't a thing to grind for anymore. That's the sections. I hope that helped. Todd, I hope you got that. And make sure you guys are jumping on X as well at Braden LOA. Quail Hunter says the only way I can keep updated is you and Jared, and I appreciate you both. Thank you, Quail. I appreciate that. I can speak. We are trying real hard. We're trying real hard. Mike says, Braden, you need to be on the 2A Action Alliance panel at Goals if they do it again. That's the whole premise of your channel. So I don't know what I'm actually on. I think I'm definitely scheduled for some stuff. The only thing I can remember is the main stage. I'm just kidding. But I do know that I will be speaking at some things. I'll either be speaking or panels, and if I know them genuinely, I'll probably be on some panels as well. Serious question. How is it they can legally stop registration of any machine guns newer than 1986 without being outside of the Second Amendment? So that's an excellent question. The reason why they can do it is because they use the power of taxation in the NFA in 1934. Go back on my X account, at Braden LOA. I actually brought back the actual testimony from the Attorney General where he said it's unconstitutional unless we use the power of taxation. They're using the power of taxation to outlaw certain firearms, mainly short barrels, the machine guns, and suppressors. They're using the power of taxation. They've done it there. They did it in healthcare with Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. They've done the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. That's actually how they justified it to the Supreme Court with the Affordable Care Act, is that they said, well, no, it's okay. It's a tax. That's exactly what they said when they did it, and that's why it's still in place today, is because the SCOTUS said that was fine because it's a tax. That's exactly the authority they're using. So when you keep on going in the Gun Control Act of 1986, then you're going to basically build off that. That's how the case is. Ottoman Empire, you cannot tax a right. Eric, that is correct. You cannot. Thank you for what you do, Gene. Thank you for watching. Each and every one of you guys, thank you for watching. This is truly not possible without you guys. Is there a Supreme Court case that addresses taxing a right? Yes, it is. I want to say Marbury. Don't quote me on that. There is absolutely a Supreme Court precedent with a decision that says you can't tax a right, and I may be getting that case wrong. Google that. I can't do it right this second, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Hit the thumbs up, Bob says. I agree. The Machine Gun Act was not 1986. It was actually 1934 for the NFA. Right, Patriot. It was in 1934, but they added the Hughes Amendment in 86, I believe. I don't have the dates. I haven't brushed up on the dates, but there was an additional piece to it. That was Chief Justice Roberts, the Affordable Care Act. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was David Green. You're correct. It was a newspaper case. The last one I'm going to take right here, Dungeon Pro or Gungeon Pro. What is Section 3 of the Hearing Protection Act? Isn't the full HPA, the one in the big bill, the same in the Senate right now? Yeah, okay, so that's a great question. Yes, sorry guys, I'm getting all the dates. I'm trying to keep up with them. So Section 3 is not inside the bill at this moment. Because what you want to do is you want to have Section 2, which is the removal of the Hearing Protection Act, and it's in there. Section 3, it needs to be reinforced. That's what all the calls that I'm getting and all the information that I'm getting is push people to install Section 3 into that bill. That is my understanding from where we're at right now, and I can go back and I can look at that manager's amendment. From what I'm seeing, there was Section 1, Section 2. Section 2 stripped it completely from the NFA. Section 3, I think as it's written, was the actual financing portion of the tax stamps. I think they want to add a little more clarifying language around suppressors for state level installation. That's my understanding. But the bottom line is, what I've been told is add Section 3, which protects states' suppressors. That's what I've been told. My senators are the commie leftists. What can I do? Get on X. Just magnify it. It's the best we can do when you're in that case. And so right now, guys, where we're at, I'm doing like 3 videos a day. We're trying to keep up as much as we can on all the things that are happening. We just had 28 states tell Maine to go pound sand in district court. We just had Mexico get hit right in the face and their loss with Smith & Wesson. And now I just wanted to bring those points to you where we could tie all those pieces together because it's an incredibly important point that in 12 months, 2 liberal justices have said, oh, you know, they're all common use, which leads up right next to an assault weapons ban case. And that is the golden goose on the short-term horizon. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope I'm not grinding too much with you guys for 3 days, but it's important, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.